What's up, friendos? It's Chris Welsh here at Fantasy Pros. It's time for another trade video. Yes, that's right. But today, a little bit different because we're only buying players. Yes, I've got 5 guys that I'm targeting in trades for varying different degrees, whether they're underperforming and it's the time to jump, or, as I like to do sometimes, picking on players that I don't think their value in the trade market is adequate to where they can be, so we're comfortable paying a little bit more on the prices. So, where you can also take advantage of this is checking out my playbook on Fantasy Pros. That's right, they've got a trade analyzer. The trade analyzer attached to all the amazing tools at Fantasy Pros telling you, should you make this trade? Also, waiver assistant, lineup assistant, and a ton more. Go and check it out today over on Fantasy Pros. Download the My Playbook app. Do it because work smarter, not harder. All right, let's get into it. It's time for the 5 players that I'm looking to buy in the trades. So let's go. First up, we're looking at Astros shortstop Jeremy Pena, who on the year is hitting 340. Okay, how are we trading for a guy that's hitting 340? 4 homers, 6 stolen bases. Well, because he's Jeremy Pena. Jeremy Pena's value is still sitting in this middle line range. I think mainly because most people don't believe what he's doing. Last year, he hit 263, 10 total homers, and 13 stolen bases. So, from a performance standpoint, I think many people would first look and say, well, this is just way overperforming. And I think to a degree that kind of is the truth. But there are some things that are moving in the direction of why I believe Jeremy Pena can keep up the pace of way overperforming what he did last year, not necessarily this year. So there might be something in waiting a tiny bit, but this is a case that I believe that Jeremy Pena's overall value is not caught up to what it's going to cost. Yes, he has a 340 batting average, but that is supported by a 319 expected batting average. We love that. 40.9% hard hit rate, quite a bit better than last year, which was 35.8%. What I really love, dramatically decreased K percentage at only 12.8%. That's compared to 20 last year. You know who had a similar trend last year was Gleyber Torres. We saw a dramatically lower K percentage, which we saw huge improvements. And one of the things we also saw on that side with Gleyber in 2023, well, he had a high 20% K percentage versus sliders, and that dipped way down into the teens last year. Well, guess what? Jeremy Pena, 21.2% K percentage against sliders last year. That was the highest of any pitch he saw double-digit percentage of the time. This year, 10% K percentage. His improvement on sliders is leading to lower K percentage, getting him to hit the ball harder, and those expected numbers, they're probably going to relate to some big results. Plus, he's stealing more bases because he's getting on base. Legit possibility Jeremy Pena is going to put up quite a bit higher of a 2020 season, even when this team is struggling offensively. So Jeremy Pena, I think you can buy even at a little bit of a higher cost because I think he will keep improving. Number 2, I'm buying Marlins, that seems weird, Jazz Chisholm. Now things are just okay in the Jazz world. He has a solid, at least as I'm recording this, 5 homers, 8 stolen bases. But that's paired with a suboptimal 243 batting average and an expected batting average that is lower, sitting at 227. So why I think it's a great time to buy is he's striking out less, kind of like we talked about with Pena, 25%, which is the lowest of his career by a couple percent. He's also walking more, almost 10% of the time. Now, though his hard hit rate is down a little bit, and that is contributing to the expected batting average being lower, his barrel percentage is near the top of his career. But the reason I really want to jump now, while he's not very exciting or popping for people, is I think he's getting moved. I probably don't need to think, he most likely is getting moved. So with him showing maybe some positive improvement sides, then you go and put him on a big offensive supportive team, which is our hope. We could see an increase in RBI, run, and stolen bases, and the best portions of Jazz Chisholm have not probably happened yet this year. So I'm buying Jazz Chisholm on the low. Number 3, because we're only buying, we're going to jump over to the pitchers, and we're going to jump over to a pitcher who is pitching well. It's Dylan Cease with the San Diego Padres. Now, this is really just about me telling you, I think Dylan Cease has like a legit shot to be a top 10 SP this year. Now, I don't know if people are valuing him there or if he's even ranked out at that capacity, but what we've seen out of him is a complete turnaround from years prior. Strikeout rate, highest of his career, 32.4% K percentage, paired with the lowest walk rate of his career, 8.6. Those two are so key and so important, even, by the way, when he is giving up the highest barrel percentage of his career. So you're seeing hitters barrel up the ball, but they're hitting it less hard. 34% hard hit percentage. That's the lowest. Lowest expected batting average of his career, 186, which is top 7 percentile of the league. And the 2.19 ERA is supported with a 2.79 expected ERA. Put him in that hitter-friendly environment with K percentages that are higher whiff percentages on his four-seam and slider. I really think Dylan Cease is supported offensively, in a ballpark side, and with what he's doing, that he doesn't belong in the mid-tier of SPs, but more on the upper tier of SPs. So if the mood is right and I can get Dylan Cease at any type of solid cost, I'm buying that he can be a sub-3 ERA pitcher for the rest of the year and be near the tippy top on strikeouts. Number 4, this will be my favorite to even mention because he kind of ruined it for me a little bit. We're going and we're talking about Oneil Cruz with the Pittsburgh Pirates. You know, if you know who I am, maybe I'm just a talking head on FantasyPros and you don't, but if you follow me at all, you know that I've been a big proponent of Oneil Cruz this season. And even stupidly at times had let you're drafting Elly De Cruz when you could get Oneil Cruz. That came out of my mouth maybe once or twice. But it was always in a respect that you're getting a different type of production, but the ups and downs kind of existed the same. Well, Elly De La Cruz has been a whole bunch of ups until May happened, and Oneil Cruz has been kind of a little bit inconsistent. So as I was getting set to record this, Oneil Cruz was okay. There was some chatter. People, oh, can you believe anybody said that? Oneil Cruz, disappointment. How did we like him? Well, guess what? Hit a couple homers since I started the process, so he's ruined the excitement of buying low. But this is me talking about trusting Oneil Cruz the rest of the season, because those people that were screaming, oh no, it doesn't work, might be the ones that are like, this is my opportunity to get out. Oneil Cruz, 12.5% barrel percentage, 52% hard hit rate, which is in the top 7 percentile of the league. I love it. An almost 10% launch angle, a 94.2 average exit velocity. These are great numbers, and an expected batting average around 245. I'm fine with Oneil Cruz being a 250 hitter. He's hitting over 30 homers. He's stealing double-digit bags, and any type of worry or discount that people want to get out from, I am buying on Oneil Cruz. And guess what? Those last couple days, he's reproving why he was a guy that we wanted to buy. And guess what? You actually might get him even cheaper right now than some of that preseason cost. So I'm a buyer of Oneil Cruz, regardless of some of the ups and downs. How is everybody feeling about Elly De La Cruz struggling right now? They love the stolen bases, but I don't hear the first round chatter going on. And finally, my last buy, I'm buying Mariners pitcher Logan Gilbert, who I was not the biggest fan of in the preseason, but I also wasn't a big pusher of Logan Gilbert. So egg on my face for that. Now, Gilbert was annihilated in his last start, and that might be kind of a I told you so situation for me, but it's not, because I think people get scared, especially when a guy who'd been overperforming a bit has that big of a blow up. So like I did with George Kirby, I want to take advantage of that and get back in the Logan Gilbert business. So I'm encouraged with Gilbert, 27% K percentage, which is the highest of his career. 2.94 ERA, which is not the lowest, but his expected ERA, which is at just over 3.1, is the lowest of his career. He's giving up dramatically less hard hit balls, and his ability to command and use his pitch mix has been fooling hitters all season long. And that's why I don't care about the blow up. I want to go and buy on Logan Gilbert right now, regardless of that really bad start. And that is going to do it for the players that I'm targeting in trades, for better or for worse. I know, Oneil Cruz, yeah, I get it, but I love him, and I don't think his value's quite there. So what did you like? I don't really want to know what you didn't like, though you can say it, of course, but what did you like as far as these trades go? Here's a better way to do it if none of those guys were for you. Who are you trading for? Let's hear it. You guys have made an incredibly cool and awesome community in our comments, so post it. When you do, you got opportunities to win cool stuff. As well, go and check us out over on My Playbook. Get in on the trade analyzer, the lineup analyzer, the waiver assistant. All of those tools are going to make your fantasy season way better, and you can use it to accompany all the awesome stuff we do here at FantasyPros in these videos. Cross-reference it. See what it has to say. Go and check it out today over on FantasyPros, or just go My Playbook in your app store. Get locked in and do it today. Work smarter, not harder, as we always say. You can find me and Joe Pisapia Monday through Friday over on the Fantasy Pros MLB YouTube channel live, 12:30 p.m. Eastern. Come and hang out with us. We're talking everything fantasy betting, everything under the sun. We've also got a bunch of other really great stuff, so make sure you are locking into all the Fantasy Pros content on YouTube and on your podcast app. That's going to do it. Follow me on Twitter at IsItTheWelsh, and I'll talk to you next time right here on Fantasy Pros MLB.